Hello, and welcome to Sleepy Science by Nem Vita. Whether you're listening at the end of a long day or simply letting your thoughts slow down, this is a place where curiosity unfolds gently. There's nothing you need to solve, nothing you need to remember, and nothing you need to focus on. If you find your attention drifting, that's perfectly fine. Let the words become a soft background, and let your body settle into rest. Allow your breathing to soften, slow down, and become quiet, steady, and easy. I'm glad you're here. As the world begins to slow, it becomes easier to imagine what exists just beyond our immediate awareness. Not far away, beneath layers of fallen leaves and softened soil, there is a quiet world that moves at its own pace. A world that does not rush, does not compete, and does not demand attention. This is the realm of mushrooms, resting quietly beneath the forest floor, present whether we notice them or not. You don't need to picture anything clearly. If images come to mind, you can let them drift. If they don't, that's perfectly fine. The ideas themselves are enough, moving gently in the background, like distant sounds on a calm night. In many forests, when daylight fades and the air cools, the ground holds its own kind of stillness. Moist earth, layered with leaves, carries the memory of countless seasons. Beneath that surface, mushrooms wait patiently, neither hurried nor delayed. They emerge when conditions allow and remain hidden when they don't. There is no urgency in this process. Everything unfolds exactly when it needs to. Mushrooms are not loud participants in nature. They don't sway dramatically in the wind or stretch toward the sky. Instead, they remain close to the ground, connected to something deeper. Their presence is subtle, almost secretive, as if they belong more to the silence than to the visible world. Even when they appear, pushing gently through soil or wood, they do so without disturbance, without sound. It can be reassuring to think about life that unfolds this way. Life that does not measure itself by speed or scale, but by balance and timing. Mushrooms have existed on Earth far longer than humans, quietly adapting to changes without spectacle. They have witnessed forests rise and fall, climates shift, and landscapes transform, all while continuing their slow, steady existence beneath it all. As you rest, there is no need to hold on to every word. You can let your attention soften. If your thoughts wander, that's a natural part of settling. The story continues whether you're listening closely or drifting in and out. Mushrooms live close to the earth, and perhaps that is part of their calming presence. They belong to the shaded spaces, the cooler air, the places where light filters gently instead of shining harshly. In these environments, time feels different. Minutes stretch, moments feel wider. The natural world does not push forward, but gently circulates, repeating familiar rhythms again and again. There is a quiet comfort in knowing that beneath busy surfaces, something calm is always happening. Even as human activity fills the day with movement and sound, the forest floor remains unchanged in its patience. Mushrooms continue their work silently, connecting soil, trees, and fallen leaves into a single living system that asks for nothing in return. You are safe here in this idea of stillness. There is nothing hidden that needs to be uncovered, nothing mysterious that requires explanation right now. Just the simple presence of a living world that exists whether we think about it or not. stable, grounded, and steady. As your breathing slows, it may feel natural to release the need to follow every sentence. You can let the words become a soft layer, like soil settling gently after rain. The story does not require effort. It is meant to accompany rest, not interrupt it. In this quiet beginning, mushrooms remind us that much of life happens unseen, and that this unseen work is often what keeps everything else in balance. Beneath your own moments of rest, your body does something similar, quietly restoring itself, without instruction, without urgency. And so we remain here, near the forest floor, where nothing needs to happen quickly, where growth is slow and patient, and where calm has always been part of the design. As we remain in this unhurried space, it becomes easier to sit with a simple idea without needing to define it sharply. Mushrooms are familiar to many of us, yet they often resist easy labels. They are not plants in the way trees and flowers are, and they are not animals either. They exist quietly in between, following their own steady rules. You don't need to remember classifications or names. This isn't about learning details. It's about allowing the idea of something different, something that doesn't rush to fit into neat categories. Mushrooms belong to a group of life called fungi, a form of living presence that moves through the world in a softer, less visible way. Unlike plants, mushrooms do not rely on sunlight to grow. They do not turn their faces towards the sky or stretch upward in search of light. Instead, they draw what they need from their surroundings, absorbing nourishment slowly from soil, wood, and organic matter. This way of living is quieter, more inward, and perhaps more patient. If your attention drifts here, that's perfectly fine. You can let the words pass through without holding on to them. The rhythm matters more than the meaning. Fungi live by connection rather than competition. Much of their true body exists out of sight, spreading gently through the ground or through decaying material. What we call a mushroom is only a brief appearance, a small visible moment in a much longer, calmer existence. Most of the time, fungi remain hidden, working steadily without announcement. There is something grounding in this idea, a form of life that does not need to be seen to be active, that does not measure success by visibility. Mushrooms remind us that presence does not always require attention, and that important processes often unfold quietly. In the natural world, fungi serve as bridges. They connect what has fallen with what will grow again. They soften what is rigid, break down what is old, and make space for what comes next. This is not a dramatic transformation. It happens slowly, gently, almost invisibly. As you rest, you may notice your own thoughts moving in similar ways. Some ideas surface briefly, others remain beneath awareness. Nothing needs to be sorted or understood right now. Everything can remain exactly as it is. Mushrooms do not hurry their growth. They wait for moisture, for temperature, for the right conditions. When the moment arrives, they emerge calmly. When it passes, they retreat without resistance. This rhythm of appearing and disappearing is part of their nature, and it carries a quiet lesson about timing and patience. There is no danger here, no sudden changes. The world of fungi is stable in its slowness. Even across centuries, their role remains much the same. They continue to recycle, connect, and balance, regardless of what happens above the ground. You are safe to let your awareness soften further. The story does not demand focus. It is steady and continuous, like a low, even sound in the background. In thinking about mushrooms this way, not as objects, but as quiet participants in long cycles, the mind can begin to relax its grip. Life does not always need sharp edges or clear definitions. Sometimes it simply flows, adapting gently, existing without urgency. And so we stay with this calm understanding. Mushrooms as living forms that ask for little, take only what they need, and return everything else back to the earth. A reminder that not all life pushes forward loudly. Some of it moves best when it moves slowly, unseen, and at rest. As this quieter rhythm continues, it becomes natural to drift toward what lies beneath the surface, not beneath attention, but beneath visibility. Below the forest floor, beyond what the eyes usually notice, there is a vast presence that does not announce itself. This is where most of a fungus truly exists, spread gently through soil, wood, and fallen leaves. You don't need to picture it clearly. You can let the idea remain soft and impression-like, as if sensing rather than seeing. This hidden body is called mycelium, a network of fine threads that grows slowly outward, feeling its way through the earth. It does not rush in straight lines. It curves, pauses, and adapts. When it encounters something nourishing, it lingers. When conditions are dry or cold, it waits. Nothing is forced. Everything unfolds according to what the moment allows. If your thoughts begin to wander here, you can let them. The story continues even if attention drifts in and out. Mycelium spreads quietly, thread by thread, creating connections that can stretch across entire forests. Some of these networks are older than any tree above them. They persist through seasons, storms, and long spans of time, unchanged in their purpose: to connect, to share, to hold the system together without being seen. There is something deeply calming about this kind of growth. It does not seek the fastest route or the greatest height. It seeks balance. When nutrients are plentiful in one place and scarce in another, mycelium redistributes gently, moving resources where they are needed. There is no command, no central control. The network responds naturally, like a slow breath expanding and settling. You are safe to relax into this image of quiet cooperation. Nothing here is sharp or sudden. Everything moves gradually. The mushrooms we see above ground are only brief expressions of this deeper system. They appear when conditions are right, releasing spores softly into the air, and then fade back into the background. But the mycelium remains, steady and unchanged, continuing its slow work beneath the surface. It can be comforting to know that much of life's stability comes from what we rarely notice. While the surface world changes constantly, this hidden layer remains patient and reliable. Even when forests burn or trees fall, mycelium often survives below, ready to begin again when the time is right. As you rest, your own body mirrors this quiet persistence. Beneath conscious thought, systems continue working, maintaining balance without instruction. Breathing slows, muscles soften. Restoration happens quietly, just as it does in the soil. Mycelium does not compete for attention. It does not try to stand out. It exists as part of a larger whole, content in its role. There is no rush toward completion because there is no final destination. Growth and rest are part of the same continuous motion. If you find yourself letting go of the words now, that's perfectly fine. You can let them blur into a steady flow, like roots spreading in darkness without effort or sound. In this unseen world, connections matter more than appearances. Strength comes not from being noticed, but from being steady. Mycelium reminds us that support can be quiet, that influence can be gentle, and that endurance often lives below the surface. And so we remain here a little longer, resting with the idea of slow connection. A living network that asks nothing from us, yet supports nearly everything around it. Calm, patient, and always present, even when unseen. As the sense of quiet connection settles in, it becomes easier to notice another gentle role that mushrooms play in the natural world. They are not creators of noise or movement, but steady caretakers of balance. Where leaves fall, where branches break, where old growth comes to rest, mushrooms arrive without urgency, continuing a process that has repeated itself for millions of years. You don't need to follow every idea closely. The rhythm of the words is enough, moving slowly like time itself. When a tree falls in the forest, its story does not end. Wood softens, bark loosens, the solid form begins to change. This transformation is not sudden or dramatic. It happens gradually, guided by fungi that move quietly into the fibers of the fallen tree. Mushrooms and their hidden networks release enzymes that gently break down what was once rigid, returning it piece by piece to the soil. This work is patient. Days, weeks, and years pass without visible change. And yet, beneath the surface, everything is shifting in a calm, orderly way. Nutrients that were once locked inside wood begin to move again, traveling slowly back into the earth where new life can use them. There is a steady comfort in this idea of renewal without disruption. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is rushed. The forest does not mourn the fallen tree, nor does it cling to it. Instead, it allows change to unfold naturally, supported by organisms that specialize in letting go. If your attention drifts here, you can let it drift. Nothing important will be missed. Mushrooms are often called recyclers of nature, but this word barely captures the gentleness of their role. They do not tear things apart, they soften them. They work with moisture, warmth, and time, guiding matter back into circulation rather than forcing it into disappearance. As this process continues, the soil grows richer. What once stood tall becomes nourishment for seedlings, grasses, and roots. Life does not move in straight lines. It moves in slow circles, guided by organisms that know how to wait. You are safe in this idea of continuity. There is no collapse here, only gradual change supported by steady presence. The forest floor is layered with stories like this. Leaves from past seasons, fallen branches, and decaying logs all exist together, held in different stages of transformation. Mushrooms weave through these layers quietly, connecting what was with what will be without drawing attention to themselves. This gentle breakdown is essential. Without it, forests would become crowded with the past, unable to make space for new growth. Mushrooms ensure that endings remain soft, that transitions are slow, and that nothing truly disappears. As you rest, your own thoughts may begin to loosen in a similar way. Old ideas can soften, tension can release. There is no need to hold on to everything tightly. Some things can be allowed to return to rest. The work of mushrooms continues whether or not anyone observes it. Long after footsteps fade and daylight disappears, they remain active, quietly supporting balance in the dark. Their presence does not depend on recognition. It depends only on time and patience. In this steady rhythm of breakdown and renewal, there is reassurance. Change does not need to be loud or sudden to be meaningful. Often the most important transformations happen slowly, guided by forces that work best in silence. And so we stay with this calm understanding a little longer. Mushrooms as quiet recyclers, returning everything gently back to the earth, reminding us that rest and renewal are not separate, but part of the same slow, continuous flow. As this gentle cycle of renewal continues, it becomes easier to sense how slowly time moves in the world of mushrooms. Their lives are not measured in moments or even in seasons, but in long stretches that unfold quietly, almost beyond notice. They exist within a rhythm that does not hurry, a rhythm shaped by patience rather than progress. You don't need to think about time in any precise way. You can let the idea remain broad and unpressured, like watching shadows shift without checking the clock. In forests, some fungal networks have been growing for decades, centuries, or longer. Long before the trees above them reached maturity, these networks were already present, spreading calmly through the soil. They continue through droughts, storms, and cold winters, unchanged in purpose. While the surface world changes quickly, this deeper layer moves at a pace that barely registers on a human scale. There is something deeply reassuring about life that does not rush to arrive anywhere. Mushrooms are in no hurry to complete their work. They expand when conditions are gentle and pause when they are not. Waiting is not a delay for them. It is part of the process. If your thoughts begin to drift now, that's perfectly fine. You can let them wander without direction. The story continues softly, whether you are following every word or not. Time beneath the forest floor feels different. A fallen log may take years to soften, decades to fully return to soil. During that time, fungi remain present, quietly guiding the transition. Nothing is forced forward. Nothing is pushed to finish. The forest simply allows each stage to take as long as it needs. This slow movement through time offers a contrast to the pace many of us are used to. Above ground, days can feel crowded and fast. Below ground, time stretches wide and calm. Mushrooms belong to that slower dimension, where growth is measured by steadiness rather than speed. You are safe to rest in this sense of extended time. There is no deadline here, no expectation to move forward quickly. Everything unfolds when it is ready. Mushrooms have survived dramatic changes across Earth's history. Ice ages, warming periods, shifting continents, and evolving ecosystems have all passed while fungi continued their quiet work. Their persistence is not built on strength or dominance, but on flexibility and patience. As you breathe more slowly, it may feel easier to imagine releasing urgency. Just as mushrooms wait without concern, you too can allow this moment to remain open and unhurried. Nothing needs to be accomplished here. In this deeper timescale, beginnings and endings blur together. Growth leads naturally into rest, and rest prepares the way for growth again. There is no sharp division between phases, only a continuous, gentle flow. So we stay with this feeling of expanded time a little longer. A reminder that life does not always move at the pace we expect, and that slowness itself can be a form of stability. Mushrooms exist comfortably within this long rhythm, steady and unchanged, offering a quiet invitation to slow down with them. As this sense of extended time continues to settle, it becomes natural to notice how mushrooms rarely exist alone. Beneath the forest floor, their quiet presence often overlaps with the roots of trees, forming relationships that unfold slowly and without display. These partnerships are not obvious from the surface, yet they shape the health and stability of entire forests. You don't need to imagine the details clearly. The idea itself can remain gentle and impression-like, as if sensing cooperation rather than seeing it. Tree roots and fungal networks meet in the soil, where neither tries to dominate the other. Instead, they share. The fungus connects to the root, and in that connection, a calm exchange begins. The tree offers sugars formed through sunlight and leaves. The fungus, in return, helps the tree access water, and nutrients spread through the soil. This exchange does not happen quickly. It unfolds steadily, moment by moment, season after season. If your attention softens here, you can let it soften. The story continues quietly, without needing your full focus. This relationship is sometimes described as a partnership, but even that word feels a bit strong. It is less like an agreement and more like a shared rhythm. Both tree and fungus adjust gently to one another, responding to changes in moisture, temperature, and time. There is no urgency, no demand for constant growth. Balance is enough. Through these underground connections, trees are not as separate as they appear above ground. In some forests, fungal networks link multiple trees together, allowing resources to move slowly between them. When one tree has more than it needs, some of that excess can be shared. When another is under stress, support may arrive quietly through the soil. You are safe to rest with this idea of gentle support. Nothing here is dramatic or sudden. Everything happens gradually, guided by patience rather than force. These connections help forests remain resilient. During dry periods, fungal networks can help distribute moisture. In times of stress, they can soften the impact by spreading resources more evenly. The forest does not rely on speed to survive. It relies on cooperation that unfolds beneath awareness. As you rest, your own body reflects something similar. Systems support one another quietly, adjusting without instruction. Balance is maintained not through effort, but through continuous, gentle regulation. Mushrooms do not seek recognition for this role. Their work remains unseen, yet its effects are lasting. Trees grow taller, roots spread wider, and forests remain stable partly because of this silent collaboration below the surface. If you find yourself drifting now, that's perfectly fine. The words can become part of the background, like the steady hum of something working calmly out of sight. In this underground partnership, there is reassurance. Life does not always depend on competition or speed. Often, it thrives through quiet cooperation, steady exchange, and mutual presence. Mushrooms and trees have followed this pattern for millions of years, unchanged in their calm reliability. And so we remain here, resting with the idea of connection that does not announce itself, support that arrives gently, balance maintained through patience, a reminder that strength does not always rise upward into view. Sometimes it spreads quietly beneath, holding everything together without being seen. As this quiet sense of cooperation settles, attention can drift gently upward to the forest floor itself. This is the place where many mushrooms briefly appear, resting among layers of soil, leaves, and softened wood. It is not a stage meant for display, but a calm surface shaped by time, moisture, and shade. You don't need to picture anything clearly. You can let the idea remain soft, like noticing textures without focusing on details. The forest floor is rarely uniform. It is made of many layers, each resting gently on the one below. Fallen leaves curl and fade. Pine needles form thin mats. Bits of bark, moss, and soil blend together into a quiet patchwork. Mushrooms rise slowly within this layered world, shaped by what surrounds them rather than standing apart from it. If your thoughts wander here, that's perfectly fine. The rhythm continues without interruption. Within this environment, mushrooms take on countless forms. Some are round and smooth, others slender or wide, their shapes unfolding gradually as they grow. Colors remain natural and softened, earthy browns, pale creams, gentle reds, muted oranges. Even when variation appears, it never feels sharp or demanding. Everything blends into the calm of the ground it rests upon. The air near the forest floor often feels cooler and heavier. Moisture lingers longer here, held gently by soil and shade. This creates a steady, protected space where mushrooms can grow without pressure. They are not exposed to harsh light or strong wind. Instead, they develop slowly in an environment that encourages patience. You are safe to relax into this grounded stillness. Nothing here moves quickly. Nothing competes for attention. The forest floor also holds silence differently. Sounds from above soften as they reach this level. Footsteps fade. Voices dissolve into distance. What remains is a quiet awareness of space, of closeness to the earth. Mushrooms belong naturally to this silence, emerging without sound and returning just as quietly. As seasons pass, the forest floor changes gradually. New layers settle. Old ones break down. Mushrooms respond gently to these shifts, appearing when conditions feel right and withdrawing when they don't. There is no struggle in this response, only adjustment. If you notice your breathing slowing now, you can allow it. The story does not require effort. It is meant to accompany rest, not guide it. The variety found among mushrooms is not about display, but adaptation. Each form fits comfortably within its surroundings, shaped by moisture, temperature, and time. Nothing feels out of place. Everything belongs exactly where it is. In resting with this image of layered ground and quiet growth, it becomes easier to release tension. Just as the forest floor supports many stages of change at once, you can allow your thoughts to settle in layers without needing to resolve them. And so we remain here, close to the earth, where mushrooms rest among leaves and soil. A calm, textured world that holds growth gently, offering steadiness, shelter, and a quiet place to slow down. As this grounded stillness continues, the sense of place begins to widen gently. Mushrooms are not limited to a single kind of forest or landscape. They appear quietly across many environments, each one offering slightly different conditions, yet all sharing the same slow rhythm. Wherever there is moisture, shade, and time, fungi find a way to exist without disturbance. You don't need to track locations or remember names. The feeling of quiet variety is enough. In cool forests, mushrooms rest beneath towering trees, emerging softly after rain. In warmer woodlands, they appear among roots and fallen branches, adjusting calmly to thicker air and softer light. In grasslands, they rise briefly after seasonal moisture, then fade again into the soil. Even in places that seem sparse or harsh, fungi persist, waiting patiently for the right moment. If your attention drifts now, that's perfectly fine. The narration flows on its own, steady and unhurried. Each landscape shapes mushrooms gently rather than forcing them to change. Temperature, moisture, and soil composition guide their form and timing. Nothing about this process is rushed. Adaptation happens gradually, guided by quiet responses rather than sudden shifts. In mountain regions, fungi endure cooler air and longer winters, growing slowly beneath snow and leaf litter. In coastal areas, they adjust to salt in the air and damp ground. In deserts, certain fungi remain dormant for long stretches, conserving energy until rare rains arrive. Waiting is not inactivity for them. It is simply another state of being. You are safe to rest within this idea of patient adaptation. Life does not need constant motion to remain alive. Mushrooms do not resist their surroundings. They respond to them calmly. Where conditions are gentle, growth continues. Where conditions become difficult, rest takes over. This flexibility allows fungi to exist across vast parts of the earth without struggle or urgency. As you settle further, you may notice your own thoughts becoming less fixed. Like mushrooms across different landscapes, attention can move freely, adapting without effort. Nothing needs to be held tightly. Despite their differences, all these environments share something in common. They allow time, they allow quiet. Mushrooms belong to places where growth is permitted to happen slowly, without interruption. Whether beneath tall trees or open skies, the same steady patience remains. This wide presence offers reassurance. No matter the setting, calm processes continue beneath the surface. Life adjusts without drama, guided by balance rather than speed. And so we rest with this expanded view for a moment longer. Mushrooms spread gently across the world, not by force, but by patience. Appearing, resting, and adapting wherever conditions allow, always moving at a pace that invites stillness. As this wider sense of place settles in, attention can soften toward something more familiar. For a long time, humans have noticed mushrooms not only as quiet parts of forests, but as gentle companions in daily life. They have been gathered, prepared, and shared in simple ways, often without ceremony, woven calmly into routines rather than standing apart from them. You don't need to think about recipes or details. The feeling of familiarity is enough. Across many cultures, mushrooms have been collected slowly, often by hand, with care and patience. People move through woods or fields at an unhurried pace, looking closely at the ground, noticing shapes that blend into leaves and soil. This kind of gathering does not invite speed. It encourages attentiveness and calm awareness, the same quiet focus that comes from walking slowly and breathing evenly. If your thoughts drift here, that's perfectly fine. The story continues gently, without needing to be followed closely. Preparing mushrooms has often been a quiet process as well. They are cleaned, sliced, and cooked slowly, releasing soft, earthy aromas. The act itself is simple and repetitive, offering a sense of steadiness. There is no rush in this preparation, only warmth, familiarity, and the comfort of routine. Mushrooms have appeared on tables for centuries, sometimes as a main ingredient, sometimes as a subtle addition. They do not overwhelm a dish. They blend in, adding depth without demanding attention. This quiet role mirrors how they exist in nature, present but never forceful. You are safe to rest in this sense of gentle nourishment. Nothing here is urgent or demanding. Eating mushrooms is often associated with warmth and grounding. Soups simmer slowly. Simple meals unfold at a calm pace. The experience is less about intensity and more about comfort, about taking in something that feels connected to the earth and steady in its presence. Over time, mushrooms became part of everyday life, not because they were dramatic, but because they were reliable. They appeared when conditions allowed. They could be preserved, dried, or enjoyed fresh. They fit naturally into slow rhythms of living, where food was prepared with patience and shared without hurry. As you rest, your body responds to similar patterns. Warmth, steadiness, and repetition help signal safety. Digestion slows, muscles soften. The need for alertness fades gently into the background. Mushrooms do not ask to be the focus of attention. They simply offer themselves quietly, supporting nourishment without spectacle. In this way, they reflect a broader pattern in life, where the most sustaining elements often arrive calmly, without display. If the words begin to blur together now, you can let them. They are meant to settle like warmth, not to be analyzed or remembered. So we remain with this quiet connection a little longer. Mushrooms as simple food, prepared and eaten slowly, woven into human life without urgency. A reminder that nourishment, like rest, does not need intensity. It only needs time, patience, and a gentle place to settle. As this sense of gentle nourishment lingers, attention can drift toward another quiet way mushrooms have been present in human life. Not as something urgent or dramatic, but as a steady companion associated with balance and care. Across long stretches of history, people have noticed how certain mushrooms seem to belong naturally alongside rest, routine, and the slow tending of the body. You don't need to remember names or traditions. The atmosphere of calm association is enough. In many cultures, mushrooms have been gathered not only for eating, but for their simple presence in daily wellness rituals. They were dried carefully, stored patiently, and used in small amounts, often as part of warm drinks or gentle broths. These practices unfolded slowly, without haste, guided by observation rather than instruction. If your attention softens here, you can let it soften. The words are meant to pass quietly, like steam rising and fading. The idea of health in these traditions was rarely about quick change. It was about maintaining balance over time. Mushrooms fit easily into this perspective. They were not taken all at once or used aggressively. Instead, they were introduced gradually, becoming part of a steady rhythm that supported the body without forcing it. There is something reassuring about care that does not rush. Mushrooms were often associated with grounding, with helping the body feel settled rather than stimulated. Warmth, repetition, and patience shaped these uses, aligning naturally with rest rather than activity. You are safe to remain in this gentle space. Nothing here demands action or attention. Even today, when life often moves quickly, the idea of slow, supportive care continues to resonate. Mushrooms are still associated with routines that encourage calm. Teas prepared quietly, foods cooked gently, moments taken without hurry. These small, steady acts help signal safety to the body, allowing tension to ease. Mushrooms themselves embody this kind of support. They do not act suddenly. Their effects, whatever they may be, are tied to consistency rather than intensity. This mirrors how the body often responds best, not to force, but to steadiness. As you rest, your own system benefits from the same approach. Breathing slows when it is allowed to. Muscles release when they are not pushed. Balance returns when there is time. If the details begin to blur, you can let them blur. The story does not depend on precision. It rests in feeling rather than information. In this quiet association with care and balance, mushrooms remind us that support does not have to be loud to be effective. Often the most comforting influences are those that work slowly, in the background, without drawing attention. And so we stay here for a moment longer. Mushrooms as gentle companions in routines of care, woven into human life in ways that encourage steadiness and rest. A calm presence, aligned with balance, patience, and the slow return to ease. As this calm association with care settles, attention can drift toward a softer kind of curiosity that has followed mushrooms through human history. Not curiosity driven by urgency or excitement, but a quiet sense of wonder. In many cultures, mushrooms have gently entered stories, symbols, and moments of reflection, offering imagination a place to rest rather than race. You don't need to focus on meanings or interpretations. The atmosphere of gentle fascination is enough. Some mushrooms, with their unusual shapes or subtle colors, have naturally invited storytelling. Their forms appear overnight and fade again just as quietly, leaving behind a sense of mystery that feels calm rather than unsettling. These appearances did not demand explanation. They simply existed, allowing people to notice and then move on. If your thoughts wander here, that's perfectly fine. The narration continues steadily, without asking for attention. In art and folklore, mushrooms often appear as small details rather than central figures. They rest at the edges of scenes, tucked beneath trees or beside quiet paths. Their role is not to dominate, but to add texture to the setting. A reminder that unseen processes continue alongside everyday life. In more imaginative traditions, certain mushrooms were associated with altered perception, not as something to pursue intensely, but as symbols of shifting awareness. These ideas were often wrapped in ritual and restraint, approached slowly and with care. The emphasis remained on reflection, not stimulation. You are safe to remain in this softened sense of wonder. Nothing here pushes the mind outward or upward too quickly. Colors sometimes associated with these mushrooms, deeper blues, purples, and gentle reds, appear in nature in subdued ways. When imagined calmly, they feel less vivid and more dreamlike, like light filtered through mist. These hues can drift through the mind without forming sharp images, blending gently into the background. Mushrooms, in this symbolic sense, remind us that perception itself can be flexible. Awareness can shift without effort. Attention can soften, widen, and then settle again. There is no need to chase new sensations. Everything unfolds naturally when it is allowed to. As you rest, you may notice thoughts becoming less defined. This is a natural part of slowing down. The mind does not need to remain fixed or alert. It can wander gently, guided by rhythm rather than direction. Across cultures, mushrooms have occupied this quiet space between the ordinary and the imaginative. They invite curiosity without demanding action. They suggest mystery without tension. Their presence offers permission to let the mind explore softly, without needing to arrive anywhere. If the words begin to fade into a steady flow, you can let them. They are meant to accompany rest, not interrupt it. And so we remain here, with this calm sense of imaginative space. Mushrooms as gentle symbols, adding quiet color to human stories and reflections. Never urgent, never overwhelming. Just present, offering a soft reminder that curiosity, like rest, can be slow, safe, and unhurried. As this softened sense of imagination settles, the focus can drift back toward the natural balance mushrooms quietly support. Beyond stories or symbols, fungi remain closely tied to the overall health of the environments they inhabit. Not as signals that demand attention, but as calm indicators that life is moving in steady, supportive cycles. You don't need to think about systems or measurements. The feeling of quiet balance is enough. In many ecosystems, mushrooms appear where conditions are gentle and supportive. Their presence often reflects soil that holds moisture, forests that breathe slowly, and environments that are neither rushed nor strained. They do not arrive to announce problems or solutions. They simply grow where balance already exists, responding softly to what surrounds them. If your attention drifts here, that's perfectly fine. The rhythm continues without effort. Fungi are sensitive to change, yet they do not react sharply. When environments become stressed, growth slows or pauses. When balance returns, mushrooms emerge again, calm and unchanged. This gentle responsiveness allows them to mirror the state of the land without drawing focus to it. There is reassurance in this quiet reflection. Health in nature is not about constant activity. It is about the ability to rest, to pause, and to resume gently when conditions allow. Mushrooms fit naturally into this rhythm, offering stability rather than stimulation. You are safe to rest with this idea of steadiness. Nothing here calls for action or concern. The presence of mushrooms often signals that processes beneath the surface are working as they should. Nutrients circulate slowly, moisture remains held rather than lost. Life supports life without interruption. These are not dramatic achievements. They are quiet continuations. As you settle further, your own body reflects similar patterns. Balance is maintained not through constant effort, but through steady regulation. Systems adjust gently. Rest restores what activity uses. Nothing needs to be forced. Mushrooms do not attempt to control their surroundings. They respond to them. This responsiveness allows ecosystems to remain flexible and resilient, adapting over time without urgency. Stability here is not rigid. It is soft and responsive, able to bend without breaking. If the words begin to blur now, you can let them. They are meant to blend into a calm flow, like a steady background sound. In this way, mushrooms serve as quiet companions to balance itself. They exist where patience is allowed, where cycles can complete without interruption. Their presence reassures rather than alarms, offering a sense that life continues smoothly beneath visible change. And so we remain here for a moment longer, resting with this gentle reflection. Mushrooms as calm indicators of balance, appearing and resting without demand. A reminder that health, in nature and in ourselves, often expresses itself most clearly through steadiness, patience, and the freedom to slow down. As this sense of balance settles more deeply, attention can soften toward the way mushrooms grow and emerge over time. Their appearance is never rushed. Even when they seem to arrive suddenly, their growth has been quietly unfolding beneath the surface for long periods beforehand. What becomes visible is only the final, gentle moment of a much slower process. You don't need to picture the stages clearly. The idea of gradual change is enough. Beneath the soil, mycelium may spend weeks, months, or even years expanding before a mushroom ever appears. This growth happens steadily, guided by moisture, temperature, and quiet availability. When conditions align, the mushroom rises gently, unfolding without force, without urgency. If your thoughts drift here, you can let them drift. The story continues softly, without interruption. This slow emergence offers a calm contrast to the way change is often expected to happen quickly. Mushrooms remind us that visible results usually come last, not first. Much of the work happens in silence, unseen and unmeasured, long before anything appears on the surface. Once emerged, mushrooms do not linger unnecessarily. They release spores quietly and then begin to fade, returning their substance back to the environment. There is no attachment to staying visible. Appearance and disappearance are treated with equal ease. You are safe to rest with this idea of gentle timing. Nothing here rushes forward or resists letting go. The slowness of growth allows mushrooms to remain aligned with their surroundings. They do not strain against conditions. They respond. When moisture fades, growth slows. When warmth returns, it resumes. This adaptability does not require effort. It flows naturally. As you rest, your own body follows similar patterns. Healing, restoration, and relaxation often happen gradually, without noticeable markers. Progress does not announce itself. It simply accumulates quietly over time. If the words begin to blend into a steady flow, that's perfectly fine. They are meant to accompany rest, not demand attention. Mushrooms embody patience, not as a virtue to be practiced, but as a state of being. They exist comfortably within long processes, allowing each stage to complete without pressure. Growth is not forced. Rest is not delayed. In staying with this image of slow emergence, it becomes easier to release expectations of immediacy. Life does not always move forward in visible steps. Often, it deepens quietly before anything changes on the surface. And so we remain here for a little while longer, resting with the rhythm of gradual growth. Mushrooms rising and fading in their own time, guided by conditions rather than urgency. A steady reminder that slowness itself can be a form of balance. As this gentle rhythm of growth and rest continues, attention can drift toward the quiet environments where mushrooms naturally belong. These are places defined less by movement and more by stillness. Shaded forests, damp ground, soft air, and filtered light create spaces where silence feels full rather than empty. You don't need to imagine a specific place. The feeling of calm surroundings is enough. In these environments, sound softens. Wind moves more slowly. Light arrives gently, never sharp or demanding. Mushrooms grow within this stillness, shaped by it, protected by it. They do not need open skies or direct attention. They thrive where quiet is allowed to linger. If your thoughts wander here, that's perfectly fine. The narration continues without asking you to follow closely. Silence around mushrooms is not complete absence of sound, but a muted presence. A distant rustle of leaves, the slow drip of moisture, the quiet settling of soil. These subtle sounds blend together, creating an atmosphere that feels steady and safe. Mushrooms emerge into this silence without disruption. There is no announcement when they appear, no sound when they fade. Their entire existence aligns with environments that do not demand response. They belong to spaces where time stretches gently and nothing needs to be noticed right away. You are safe to rest within this idea of quiet surroundings. Nothing here moves suddenly. Nothing requires reaction. In these calm spaces, the mind often follows the same pattern. Thoughts slow, edges soften. Attention drifts naturally, guided by rhythm rather than intention. The stillness outside reflects a stillness within. Mushrooms seem to understand this balance intuitively. They do not seek louder spaces or brighter light. They remain close to the ground, close to moisture, close to shade. Everything about their environment encourages ease rather than effort. As you settle further, you may notice your breathing becoming quieter. This is a natural response to stillness. The body recognizes environments that feel safe and begins to release tension on its own. If the words begin to fade now, you can let them. They are meant to blend into the quiet, like sound dissolving into distance. These silent environments do not exist only in remote forests. They can be found wherever slowness is allowed, under trees in city parks, along shaded paths, in corners where nature continues calmly despite surrounding activity. And so we remain here for a moment longer, resting within quiet spaces that support gentle growth. Mushrooms living in silence, shaped by shade and time. A steady reminder that stillness is not emptiness, but a place where balance, rest, and calm are naturally held. As this sense of quiet space settles, attention can drift gently toward how mushrooms exist as part of everyday life, often unnoticed. They are rarely the focus of attention, yet they remain present in small, familiar ways. Along paths, beneath trees, near gardens, or at the edges of fields, mushrooms appear without announcement, blending naturally into ordinary surroundings. You don't need to search for examples. The feeling of quiet familiarity is enough. Many people pass mushrooms without stopping. They are seen briefly, then forgotten, left undisturbed to continue their brief appearance. This unnoticed presence is part of their nature. Mushrooms do not ask to be observed. They exist comfortably at the margins of attention, where life continues calmly without interruption. If your thoughts wander here, that's perfectly fine. The story continues steadily, without needing to be followed closely. In daily life, mushrooms often appear during simple moments: a walk after rain, a pause beneath trees, a glance at the ground while moving slowly from one place to another. These moments are not dramatic. They are quiet pauses that soften the pace of the day. Mushrooms fit naturally into these pauses. Their presence does not demand response. It simply reminds us that life continues beneath routine movement, unfolding quietly alongside it. They appear, rest briefly, and then fade again, leaving no trace of urgency behind. You are safe to rest with this idea of quiet coexistence. Nothing here interrupts or competes. Even indoors, mushrooms remain part of everyday experience, as food prepared slowly, as dried forms stored patiently, as small details in markets or kitchens that reflect connection to the earth. These interactions remain simple, grounded, and calm. Mushrooms do not require special attention to belong. They integrate easily into life, without altering its rhythm. This ease offers a gentle reminder that not everything meaningful needs to stand out. Some things support balance best when they remain subtle. As you rest, your awareness may begin to soften further. Attention does not need to hold tightly to thoughts. Like mushrooms in the background of daily life, ideas can appear and fade without effort. The unseen work mushrooms do continues regardless of whether they are noticed. Soil remains enriched. Connections persist underground. Balance is maintained quietly. Life moves forward without spectacle. If the words begin to blur into a steady background, you can let them. They are meant to accompany rest, not occupy the mind. And so we remain here for a little while longer, resting with the idea of quiet presence. Mushrooms as part of everyday life, existing calmly at the edges of attention. a gentle reminder that steadiness, support, and balance often arrive quietly, without asking to be seen. As this sense of quiet familiarity continues, the mind can begin to wander in a softer, less directed way. Much like mycelium spreading gently beneath the ground, thoughts can move without a clear path, connecting and separating without effort. There is no need to guide them. They can drift freely, forming and dissolving on their own. You don't need to follow any particular idea. The movement itself is enough. Mycelium does not choose a single direction and commit to it fully. It explores slowly, extending fine threads outward, sensing the environment as it goes. Some paths lead to nourishment, others simply fade. There is no mistake in this process. Each movement provides quiet information, shaping what comes next without pressure. If your attention loosens here, you can allow it. The narration continues gently, even if the mind moves elsewhere. In a similar way, the mind often finds calm when it is allowed to wander without purpose. Thoughts rise, connect briefly, and then dissolve, making space for stillness in between. There is no need to hold on to any one idea or follow it to completion. Letting go becomes part of resting. Mushrooms and their hidden networks exist comfortably in this state of open exploration. They do not rush to define outcomes. They respond gradually, adjusting to subtle changes in their surroundings. This flexibility allows them to remain resilient without effort. You are safe to rest in this openness. Nothing here requires decision or direction. As thoughts move gently, you may notice moments where awareness feels wider and less focused. This is a natural part of slowing down. The mind does not need to remain sharp or alert. It can soften, just as the forest floor absorbs sound and light. In this softened state, connections may form unexpectedly. A memory may surface briefly. A sensation may pass through. Like mycelium threads meeting and separating, these moments do not need interpretation. They simply occur and then move on. Mushrooms remind us that growth does not always require a clear plan. Sometimes it unfolds through quiet exploration, guided by patience rather than intention. The result is balance, not because it was forced, but because it was allowed. If the words begin to feel distant now, that's perfectly fine. They are meant to become part of a calm background, supporting rest rather than occupying attention. So we remain here with this open, wandering awareness. Thoughts moving gently, connections forming softly, then releasing again. A calm mental landscape shaped not by effort, but by permission to drift. As this open, wandering awareness settles further, there is a natural sense of returning inward, not as a shift or a change, but as a gentle settling, like soil resting after rain. Mushrooms follow this same quiet pattern. After growth and release, they return to stillness, remaining present without needing to act. You don't need to notice this return happening. It unfolds on its own. In forests, after mushrooms release their spores, there is no rush toward the next stage. The visible form softens and fades, blending back into the ground that supported it. Beneath the surface, the mycelium continues calmly, unchanged by the brief appearance above. Rest and activity are not opposites here. They are parts of the same continuous state. If your attention drifts now, you can let it drift. Nothing important depends on staying focused. This quiet return reflects a broader rhythm found throughout nature. Activity arises when conditions allow, and rest follows naturally without instruction. Mushrooms do not resist this transition. They do not cling to visibility or growth. They settle back into the background with ease. You are safe to rest in this idea of continuity. Nothing is ending abruptly. Nothing is being taken away. As the forest returns to stillness, balance remains intact. Nutrients continue circulating quietly. Connections remain in place. The absence of visible growth does not mean absence of life. It simply means life has shifted back into a quieter form. The mind responds gently to this rhythm as well. After movement and thought, there is space for rest. Awareness does not disappear. It softens. Attention becomes less defined, more spacious, allowing calm to deepen without effort. If the words feel slower now, that is intentional. They are meant to mirror the settling that happens naturally as rest approaches. Mushrooms embody this ability to move between presence and quiet without resistance. They appear, contribute, and then rest again, leaving the system stable and unchanged. Nothing feels unfinished. Everything remains in balance. As you breathe gently, you may notice a sense of ease spreading, like tension releasing quietly rather than all at once. This is the body recognizing safety in slowness. So we remain here for a moment longer, resting in this steady continuity. Growth and rest flowing together without separation. Mushrooms returning gently to the unseen world, reminding us that calm does not require stillness alone, only balance. As this steady sense of continuity deepens, everything can feel a little more settled, a little more even. The movement of ideas slows further, and what remains is a calm presence that does not need direction. Mushrooms exist comfortably within this state, continuing quietly whether anything visible is happening or not. You don't need to stay with any thought now. You can let awareness rest wherever it naturally settles. Beneath the surface, fungal networks remain unchanged by the passing of time above. Day and night move on. Seasons shift gradually. Yet the quiet work below continues at the same gentle pace. There is no urgency to respond to every change. Stability comes from remaining steady, not from reacting quickly. If your attention drifts further now, that is exactly as it should be. The narration is meant to feel like a low, continuous presence, supporting rest rather than guiding it. In this deeper stillness, distinctions begin to soften. Growth and rest feel less separate. Appearance and disappearance blend together. Mushrooms remind us that life does not stop when it becomes quiet. It simply changes form, moving into spaces that require less energy and less attention. The forest itself reflects this calm state. Even when nothing seems to be happening, balance remains intact. Soil holds moisture. Roots remain connected. Mycelium continues quietly, maintaining the system without effort or display. You are safe to remain here in this softened awareness. Nothing needs to be resolved. Nothing needs to be completed. As the mind settles, thoughts may become slower and less distinct. This is not emptiness, but ease. A space where the mind no longer needs to organize or respond. Like the forest floor at rest, everything remains supported without movement. Mushrooms belong fully to this quiet phase. Their presence does not depend on visibility or action. They exist comfortably in the background, allowing long stretches of time to pass without change. This endurance does not come from strength, but from alignment with natural rhythm. If the words feel distant now, you can let them fade. They are meant to become part of the calm environment, like sound dissolving into silence. In remaining here, the sense of time itself begins to loosen. Moments no longer feel separate. Everything blends into a continuous flow, steady and unbroken. Mushrooms have always lived within this kind of time, patient and unchanged. And so we rest here together, within this quiet, stable flow. Nothing moving quickly, nothing needing attention. Just a gentle presence that continues on its own, offering calm, balance, and the freedom to drift deeper into rest. As this calm flow continues, attention can settle into the idea of quiet persistence. Mushrooms, even when unseen, remain part of everyday life in ways that do not announce themselves. They exist in the background of natural systems, supporting balance gently without asking to be noticed or remembered. You don't need to hold on to this idea. You can let it pass through softly, like a familiar sound that doesn't require focus. In many places, mushrooms are present without being obvious. Beneath lawns, under paths, along tree lines, and within gardens, fungal networks continue their quiet work. People walk above them, unaware, while connections below remain intact. This hidden continuity allows the surface world to move freely without disruption. If your thoughts drift now, that's perfectly fine. The narration continues at the same gentle pace. This quiet presence is part of what makes mushrooms so stable. They do not depend on attention or interaction to exist. Their role does not change whether they are observed or ignored. Balance continues because it does not rely on recognition. You are safe to rest with this idea of unseen support. Nothing here needs to be acknowledged to function. Even when mushrooms appear briefly and then fade, their influence remains. Soil stays enriched. Moisture remains held. Roots continue to connect. What matters most happens out of sight, carried forward quietly by systems that do not require effort. As you rest, your own awareness may begin to feel similar. Support continues beneath conscious thought. Breathing remains steady. Muscles remain held without tension. Balance is maintained quietly, without instruction. Mushrooms fit naturally into this pattern of ongoing presence. They do not interrupt, they do not demand. They simply remain part of the landscape, contributing gently and then receding again. If the words feel less distinct now, you can let them soften further. They are meant to blend into a steady background, like something familiar that no longer needs attention. In everyday life, There are many things like this. Systems that work quietly, support that continues unnoticed, stability that exists without effort. Mushrooms are one small reflection of this broader pattern, reminding us that much of what sustains us does so silently. And so we remain here, resting with the idea of quiet persistence, life continuing beneath awareness, unchanged by attention or absence, mushrooms remaining present without demand, offering a steady reminder that calm support does not need to be visible to be real. As this sense of quiet persistence remains, the boundary between attention and rest can soften even further. There is no clear point where thinking ends and calm begins. Much like the slow spread of mycelium, awareness can drift without direction, connecting gently to whatever is nearby, and then releasing again. You don't need to guide this movement. It happens naturally when nothing is being asked of you. In the natural world, mycelium does not separate exploration from rest. Even when it seems inactive, it remains present, responsive, and ready without effort. This state of gentle readiness does not require tension. It exists comfortably within stillness. If your thoughts wander now, you can let them. There is nothing to return to and nothing to hold. As attention loosens, moments may feel longer, softer, less defined. Sensations blur gently. The mind no longer needs to organize experiences into clear shapes. Like soil settling around roots, everything finds its place without being arranged. You are safe to remain here, where awareness doesn't need to stay sharp. Nothing requires response. Nothing requires clarity. Mushrooms belong fully to this kind of space. Their presence is not focused on outcomes or goals. They exist as part of a larger system that moves without conscious direction. This allows them to remain steady, even as conditions change slowly around them. As the body rests, it follows the same pattern. Breathing becomes quieter. Muscles release without instruction. The nervous system shifts gently toward ease, guided by time rather than effort. If the words begin to feel distant now, that is exactly as intended. They are meant to fade into the background, like sound heard through closed doors. Present, but not demanding. In this softened awareness, the need to understand dissolves. Knowing becomes unnecessary. The mind can rest in simple presence, just as the forest rests when nothing appears to be happening. Mushrooms remind us that existence does not require constant attention. Life continues smoothly even when it is not observed. Balance remains intact without supervision. Calm does not need to be maintained. It arises naturally when space is allowed. And so we remain here in this open, drifting state. Awareness moving gently, then settling again. Nothing to follow, nothing to complete. Just a quiet continuation, steady and unchanged. As this open drifting continues, there is a natural sense of settling more deeply into rest. Nothing changes suddenly. Instead, everything feels a little softer, a little quieter, as if the world itself has lowered its voice. Mushrooms exist comfortably in this lowered state, remaining present without needing to move or respond. You don't need to notice this settling happening. It unfolds gently on its own. In nature, long periods pass where nothing visible changes. Forests rest, soil holds steady. Beneath it all, fungal networks remain calm and unchanged, continuing their quiet presence without interruption. There is no need for constant renewal or movement. Stability comes from remaining as you are. If your attention fades now, that is perfectly fine. The narration is meant to feel like a steady background, not something to follow closely. This quiet phase does not signal an ending. It is simply a continuation of rest. Mushrooms remain part of the environment whether they are active or still. Their role does not pause. It shifts gently into a quieter form. You are safe to remain here, where nothing asks for focus or effort. As rest deepens, the sense of time may soften further. Moments blend together. Awareness feels less sharp, more expansive. This is a natural response to calm. The mind no longer needs to separate one thought from the next. Mushrooms have always existed within this kind of time. They do not measure progress in steps or outcomes. They remain steady across long spans, comfortable with stillness and change alike. If the words now feel distant or slow, you can allow them to fade. They are meant to support rest, not occupy attention. In this state, balance remains intact without action. Systems continue quietly. Life sustains itself without effort. Mushrooms are part of this continuous support, offering presence without demand. And so we stay here, resting within this deep calm. Nothing to resolve, nothing to complete. Just a steady continuation, unchanged and gentle, allowing rest to deepen naturally. As everything settles into this final stretch of calm, there is no sense of arrival and no sense of ending. The experience simply continues, smooth and uninterrupted. Mushrooms exist comfortably within this kind of continuity, where nothing needs to change for balance to remain present. You don't need to stay aware of the words now. You can let them move past gently, like a steady current that carries without effort. In the natural world, long periods unfold where stillness becomes the dominant state. Forests rest in low light. Soil holds its shape. Beneath it all, fungal networks remain quietly present, unchanged by the passing of hours. Nothing is waiting to happen. Nothing is missing. If your attention drifts fully now, that is exactly as it should be. The narration is meant to feel supportive, even when it is no longer followed. Mushrooms remain part of this steady background, existing without urgency or expectation. Their presence does not build toward a conclusion. It simply continues, calm and reliable. Life does not always move toward something new. Sometimes it rests in what already is. You are safe here, where nothing asks to be remembered or understood. In this quiet state, distinctions soften further. Thought and rest blend together. Awareness feels wide and unpressured. Like the forest floor at night, everything is held gently without movement. Mushrooms have always belonged to this kind of time. They persist through long stretches without change, comfortable with quiet. Their role does not depend on activity. It depends on presence. As the mind releases the need to follow, the body settles more fully. Breathing remains slow and even. Muscles rest without effort. Balance holds itself naturally. If the words now feel like distant sound, you can let them fade completely. They are no longer needed. calm remains on its own. There is nothing more to add and nothing to resolve. The story does not conclude. It simply remains, steady and unchanged, offering space for rest to deepen without interruption. And so we stay here, within this quiet continuation. Mushrooms resting unseen, forests holding stillness, awareness drifting gently, free from direction, free from demand, allowed to rest as long as it wishes.